So, you're thinking about making a move to the Denver area and you're considering Commerce City, Colorado. You're not quite sure what to expect. In this video, we're going to go over all of the pros and cons of living in Commerce City. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn all about where to do life in Denver, Colorado, then this is your channel. While I think it's important where you live, it's even more important where you do life. So if you want to learn all about where to eat, drink, sleep, and play, this is the channel for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you're notified each and every time we put out a new video. We get calls, texts, and emails all the time from our viewers looking to relocate here or even move within the city. And we can't wait to hear from you too. My name is Venus with the Vindiola Group at eXp Realty, and whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, I'm here to make that move a smooth one for you. So let's get into it, all things Commerce City. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of Commerce City. I will say that I live in Commerce City. I've lived here for going on 17 years now, so I have a little bit of an inside knowledge for you. I have moved around the state from Thornton to Parker to Broomfield, but I now call Commerce City home. So before we dive in, let's talk about some of the actual statistics of Commerce City. Commerce City is actually one of the largest cities. It is over 32 square miles. It is separated by the Arsenal, which used to be a testing facility for military, and now it houses a nature center. There's several bison and deer. There's several animals. There's walking trails and driving trails. So it's pretty cool. You should drive through there if you're checking out the city. Commerce City has 25 miles of trails. So if you're looking for an active lifestyle, Commerce City might just be for you. Along those lines, there's 840 acres of open spaces and parks. So there's really no reason to have to go anywhere for your outdoor activity. We have 2 active rec centers, both with indoor pools, weightlifting, facilities for exercise classes. They're both beautiful and pretty spectacular. We have a city-owned golf course called Buffalo Run with a really cool restaurant within that has a great patio outside. Sometimes we like to go out there and hear the toads croak at night when you're just sitting there relaxing, having an evening dinner. We also have a really cool community pool called Paradise Islands. Has the pools, the swimming, the slides. The kids just love it. Well, I love it too. We also have Dick's Sporting Arena where the Rapids play, the National Soccer League. But they also have concerts there in the summer, and it was pretty cool. We went to a couple concerts last summer, and it's a really great venue for concerts as well. There's an amazing 4th of July festival there with fireworks. 4th of July is probably my favorite holiday. And it's pretty spectacular. So Dick's is in the lower part, and it is just a really cool place to go see the Rapids or a concert. We have the Mile High Flea Market, which is one of the largest flea markets. It is kind of a little bit difficult to get to on the weekends just because so many people want to go and the traffic is really backed up, but it is really neat and it is kind of an experience in of itself. So if you like to go shopping at flea markets, the Mile High Flea Market is for you. Commerce City is known for its industrial. So Commerce City really started as more of an industrial city, especially when I was growing up. There wasn't a whole lot of newer development. The core of Commerce City was built in the late 40s, early 50s, some through the 60s. And so Commerce City is really divided into the north section and the south section. And when you're getting into that south section, it's the older heart of Commerce City, and it was industrial. And back then, Commerce City really had quite a negative connotation, that it was dirty, that it was, filthy just because of the smoke. And there still is a lot of industrial. As a matter of fact, there is over 40 acres of facilities now available for industrial partners to come in and continue to grow. Where I live on the north side, it is more it's more suburban. It has more of a development feel. It's a 20-year project. And there's several different neighborhoods throughout, which I take you through on this video on my map tour, my vlog of Commerce City. So you can go take a look at that if you really want to see what's going on a driving tour of Commerce City. So that's the meat and potatoes of what Commerce City really is about. But let's dive into the pros. Commerce City historically is known for affordable housing. Where I live, when I bought this house, it was much more affordable than, we always say the closer you get to the mountains, the more expensive the homes are, and that really is true here. So when you are looking at housing, Commerce City really is affordable, especially on the lower side with the newer homes, with the older homes. You're really looking at that $300,000 to $400,000 range. And I get it, if you're coming from an area where your average price point is $200,000, that's really double and not as affordable as you would expect. But overall, Commerce City really is an affordable location. Now, I will say where I live, our taxes are way higher than even in the heart of Denver, or even some of the newer homes in Thornton, Westminster, Arvada. But the price offsets the taxes sometimes. We are starting to see an elevated value of homes out here, just like everywhere else. But really keep in mind when you're looking for a home, what are the taxes? So I will say that affordability and taxes offset some of the pros and the cons, but the taxes aren't high everywhere in Commerce City. There's a lot of newer development happening within Commerce City, and some of those newer areas do have a much more affordable tax rate than we do where I live in Reunion, Colorado, which is the main hub of the newer development in Commerce City. We talked about the outdoor recreation with all of the parks and all of the access to the trails. Really, if you're looking for an active lifestyle, you're not in the mountains, but Commerce City really is an active lifestyle. Every time I get out and I start driving around, I see people walking their dogs. It is a very friendly neighborhood. It's a very friendly, business community. I know most of the business owners in the area, and it really is just kind of a small town feel. Overall, Commerce City is still a growing community. So if you look where I had mentioned where there's 40 acres still of underdeveloped land where you have the ability to come in and build and develop, there are so many opportunities here in Commerce City. There are warehouses building. We just attracted an Amazon warehouse, a lot of aviation because we are so close to Denver International Airport. There's a lot of aviation warehouses, facilities that are doing research and development, but there's still a lot of room for growth. So that is a pro, but it could be a con because then you're looking at congestion and traffic. So, you kind of got to take it or leave it depending on what you're looking for. I always joke, everybody says, well, how far are you from Denver? How far are you from Arvada? How far are you from Parker? I always joke that we are 30 minutes from everywhere. We're not as congested, but the traffic is starting to get a little bit busier as the growth continues, but we're not nearly as congested as Denver or even the west side of town and Thornton and Arvada and Westminster. It is starting to get a little bit more congested. We only have 2 main thoroughfares with 104th and 96th that really is just coming through Commerce City. Now you can travel up to 120th, but that you're on the border there of Brighton. We don't have a whole lot of restaurants here. We have State House, we have a couple little mom and pop restaurants in the north side. We have all the fast food you could desire, but we are only about 15-20 minutes away from a really amazing shopping center in Brighton called the Prairie Center. It is probably everything you need there. There's a Target, there's a Kohl's, there's a JCPenney's, a Michael's, a Hobby Lobby, a dollar store. I guess you call them a $1.50 store now. They both have Lowe's and Home Depot. It really is everything you need. However, there is a higher tax there. They built the taxes in the infrastructure. So keep in mind if you want to go buy any large items, you might want to travel to Thornton or even Westminster for some of that shopping. But it is convenient for like the now shopping. So we talked about the growing community and the traffic. That really could be a con. Even though we are centrally located with two active streets, we are really close to Highway 2, really close to 470, which is a toll road, I-76, but I will tell you, as a con, there are trains there that we call getting trained. It is very prevalent that a train can sit there for over an hour. It is where a lot of the unloading happens and the trains will go back and forth. It can be quite frustrating. I have known people to be stuck there for an hour and a half. And when you're stuck, you are landlocked and there is no way out. So we quite often use traffic maps on our phone to determine if it's stuck. We have been going up and around to to 120th to get onto I-76. And so we really want to make sure that we don't get landlocked, especially if you're in a hurry. So we already talked about the limited lack of restaurants. There really is no nightlife in Commerce City. We do have a tap room called Pour, which is really like another Cheers, where you just come in and everybody knows everybody. You feel like you're walking into a hometown bar, which you are. And then we have State House 38, which is a really great restaurant/bar. But those don't stay open late, so it's not nightlife. It's, let's go have a cocktail after work, let's go enjoy an evening on the weekend, see our friends, and then go home by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So if you're really looking for active night lifestyle, you will want to go down to Denver. Let's talk pollution. As an industrialized city, Commerce City really does have active pollution. So if that is something that really concerns you, a metropolitan city probably isn't where you want to live. But thinking that you're going to an outlier city, Commerce City really does have that effect with the smokestacks and the industrial and the warehouses. So it's really not as green as some other cities. So crime. Like any other city, Commerce City is prevalent to crime. We, Denver City as a whole, or Colorado as a whole right now, unfortunately, is known for the #1 car theft city in the country, which is embarrassing of itself. We definitely have a pretty large prevalence of the catalytic converters being stolen. So, that is also another consideration and concern. There are, some active break-ins of homes. We have the porch pirates, especially in holiday season, where they come, follow the Amazon trucks, and steal the packages off the front porch. So, in any metropolitan city, you're going to have crime. But I do think that Commerce City probably has a slightly higher prevalence of some crime. I wouldn't say that, there's a lot of immediate issues with violent crime, or, the carjackings, or the things that are really quite concerning, but crime is concerning, and so there is a higher prevalence. There are several crime websites you can go to see if you're concerned about that, and if that's something that you really are interested in. I would definitely call the police station before the non-emergency line police station before you move here, just to kind of get an idea of the crime in the local area that you're looking to move to. So, with growth comes extra traffic, but because we are growing so prevalent, there is a lot of opportunity for equity growth. If you're purchasing a home, there are many brand new communities and subdivisions being built. And if you're looking to move into a ground level of a community, it really is a pro to move into an area where you have the opportunity to be at the ground level and grow that equity. As the builders raise prices, your equity automatically increases. So if you're looking to move to the Commerce City area, it might be helpful to have us help you explore some of those newer areas. A lot of these builders right now are offering some crazy incentives that are really beneficial to you as the homeowner. Actually made me think, is it time for me to move? But I'm pretty set in my home. We talked about the Arsenal just a little bit, and now that it's the Rocky Mountain National Refuge, it is really providing some natural beauty. And even though we are still far away from the mountains, you still have quite the mountain view. There is a lot of natural beauty here in the Denver area, but especially in this Commerce City area. So you're not really, you're not missing out on the Colorado feel. In fact, where I'm sitting right now, if I open my windows, I could see mountain view just out my windows between the houses. Sometimes I catch myself sitting here working, daydreaming. So it really does kind of capture your attention and take your breath away with the majestic nature of the beauty of Colorado. So, natural disasters. Colorado has been hit with blizzards and bomb blizzards and awful fires last year and tornadoes. We are on the eastern portion of Colorado where there are tornadoes. I will say we've seen funnels in the sky, but aside from really just seeing them in the sky and then starting to blow out further east, you don't really have that much of a prevalence, like if you're in Oklahoma or Kansas, or where the major tornadoes are, but we do get them. And so it is a cause for concern to some people. I have spent times in my basement when I'm waiting for storms to pass. We do get hail. We have had some really serious hailstorms, but I think that that's just about anywhere. Colorado weather is really unpredictable. I'm sure you've heard that before, maybe you haven't, but Colorado weather is so unpredictable. It can be 90 degrees in the morning, and in the afternoon, 40 degrees and snowing. It really can happen. Or you can be out on a hike in a beautiful morning, come home in the afternoon, and the afternoon hailstorms come around and it looks like it snowed because there's so much hail. So just keep in mind that you need to really watch the weather and be cognizant of the unpredictability of the weather, and be prepared at all times. So we talked about affordable housing. We talked about growing community. We talked about the beauty in the nature. We talked about the growing economy with so much availability for extra growth. We talked about all the access to major cities, but being in the fall town feel. We also talked about the prevalence of crime. We talked about the weather patterns. We talked about traffic and how we are landlocked sometimes when trains come through here. But I will say, overall, Commerce City is really a beautiful place to live. Commerce City really does have some amazing opportunities for housing on both sides. Commerce City has opportunity for investments. If you're thinking of making a move to the Denver area and Commerce City is on your radar, let's have a talk. I don't only work in Commerce City, but I do live here and I do love my town. But if you're looking to move to Denver, Northglenn, Aurora, any of those cities, we're here to help you. So remember, ring that bell, subscribe so you're notified each time I put out a video. I've got some great things coming your way, and I can't wait to hear from you, but until next time, see you then.